Yesterday began the period of the 3 weeks. Every summer I would sort of dread the 3 weeks because summer was usually very enjoyable, kids off from school, enjoying the weather, vacations, etc. And the 3 weeks was this break, and we had to get serious about mourning, and it was an interruption. With everything that we've experienced over the past 3 months, it seems as if it's been an ongoing Bein HaMetzarim period. It's only been the 3 weeks. Now granted, we haven't been in Avelus per se, but there definitely has been a pall that's cast over life, and we're trying our best to remain upbeat. Having said all of that, I've been quoting a Gemara in Masechta Sanhedrin, which speaks to what's going on today in the country, and I think also we can tie it into a new perspective to appreciate the 3 weeks. The Gemara says that Rav Ashi, who is a great Amora, one of the great rabbis of the Talmud, he actually redacted the Talmud. He was going to give a class about the kings of Israel who were Rashaim, and as a result, the Mishnah says they lost out on their portion in Olam Haba. And he gave a foreshadowing comment that tomorrow, he said to his students, we're going to study about our colleagues, Menashe and his colleagues, our friends. So that night, Rav Ashi went home, he went to sleep, and he had a dream. And in the dream, none other than Menashe, who was the king of Yehuda, a descendant of David HaMelech, came to him. And he asked him, Rav Ashi, am I your friend? Do we know each other? Do I know your father? Why do you speak about me in such an irreverent way? And Rav Ashi held his composure, and they started to engage in some sort of halachic discussion, and finally Rav Ashi was impressed with Menashe, and he said, Menashe, by the way, the whole point of the story is, as we said, Menashe was a Rasha. So Rav Ashi said, being that you're so wise, what happened to you? Why did you worship Avodah Zarah? And that was Menashe's legacy. And Menashe said, you're judging me? You're judging someone from a different time? If you would have lived in my time, your Yetzer Hara, your inclination, based on everything that was going on in my era, you would have run faster to the houses of idolatry, faster than myself. The point of the Gemara appears to be that it's not so easy to judge an earlier generation with the confidence and with the sense of, I would say, arrogance that we're better. We don't know exactly what they were experiencing and what the spirit of the times was somehow communicating. Obviously, if we see a wrong, we want to correct it, but we have to be very careful when we look back, and perhaps that's what's happening in the streets, taking down statues, not understanding exactly the context. It doesn't mean every statue should remain standing, but this attitude that we don't respect the history, we don't understand it, we're not aware of it, and we have a certain, and I'm saying us, meaning society, a hubris to believe that we know better, and we're judging. We wouldn't want a later generation to judge us and have that lack of respect and lack of understanding of the context of the times. Having said that, getting back to the 3 weeks, I said that it usually was a nuisance. I hate to say it, but it would have been easier if we didn't have to mourn for the Beis HaMikdash and interrupt our summer. And this year is different. Perhaps the mistake we're making is we think that we're better than those who came before us. I could say with confidence, I didn't live in the era of the Beis HaMikdash. I wasn't responsible for its destruction. Why am I being blamed? Why do I have to mourn? It's not my problem. I have my own problems. But we understand, it's a very well-known Yushalmi in Masechta Yuma. Any generation that doesn't experience the Beis HaMikdash being rebuilt in its day, that generation, meaning today, our generation, us, it's as if it was destroyed in our time, which means that we can't judge those who came before us and say it was their problem, their mistakes, and shalom alai nafshi, I'm fine, we're fine. We're not fine. We have problems, and perhaps Hashem is sending us a message that we have a lot to contend with. Now, not to end on a down note. We always have to keep the optimism. And the 3 weeks are about improving ourselves and believing that this is the last time that we have to go around this cycle of mourning and get out of it. And hopefully it will be a very constructive 3 weeks, and we'll be able to remove the sinas chinam. I've said since the beginning of this pandemic, I think it's the silver lining. It's brought out the unity. We're all in the same boat. We all have the same concerns. And with the removal of the sinas chinam, and with the focus on each other, and really the desire, or mitzapeh, just like we're looking forward to a cure, we're looking forward, that has to be the same feeling, the anticipation that we're going to hear good news, that we've paid the price of Golus, and Hashem is going to bring the Geula, b'mheira v'yameinu. I wish everybody a good Shabbos. We should be zocha. We should really merit to hear good news very soon in the future.